Hi guys, Nizar Kinsella here. We're just getting towards the end of the Club World Cup, and Chelsea, they just keep getting through time after time, and they've done so here again today. I'm in Philadelphia, just witnessed them beat Palmeiras. It was a 2-1 victory, but it looked quite comfortable again, just like the Benfica game in the round before, but with less weather events. They sort of were in control. Chelsea played really well. Cole Palmer got an early goal. Beautiful half turn, swivel, danced past two defenders, just placed it in the bottom corner. Very Cole Palmer, very good, very confident. He played very well in that first half. So did Pedro Neto. And yeah, Chelsea just seemed in control. So much possession as well. They missed a big chance at the end of the first half. And Kunku, who I thought played well, missed a big chance. He played well up until that point, and then I think that affected him, and he got hooked like a few other players, but not before Estevao Willian, and we'll talk about this in one of my three main points a little bit later. But Estevao Willian, sensational goal. The ball fed into him at a very wide, difficult angle, buys half a yard through speed, just great skill. Against Levi Colwill, one of Chelsea's best defenders, smashes it in off the bar at the near post. Some people said Robert Sanchez should have been better. Not for me, just a great goal. And yeah, Chelsea then throw on some subs. Joao Pedro is one of them, Noni Madueke, and Chelsea eventually got the goal. Malo Gusto's cross was deflected in off of Augustin, and Chelsea won the game. No less than they deserved, I'd say. I thought they were very good, especially in that first half, less so in the second half, but still good enough to win. But it kind of felt a bit strange, this match. It felt like Estevao Willian's match, and you could sense the excitement from the Chelsea players, from the manager, the respect he gained from being on that pitch, after the final whistle. Oh, and by the way, Cucurella was kicking him all game. But after the final whistle, Cole Palmer went up to him, had a word with him. Cole Palmer said after the match to us that he didn't think that Estevao understood a word he said, not because of his Manc accent like my Manc accent, but it was actually because they just felt he's not speaking a lot of English. He doesn't speak a lot of English yet. He speaks just Portuguese, not even Spanish, I don't think, really. So, he didn't understand much. But Cole Palmer was talking to him. They've been talking on Instagram before. Obviously, you've got one star already there and another one coming. It's all very beautiful, really. And then Esugo was one of the ones who went over. Shalaba, I think Tosin was the other one. They all came over to him, had a little word with him. I think Esugo was probably the best at talking to him. After the match, finally he met Enzo Maresca, who said it was a perfect match because Chelsea won and Estevao scored, and you could just sense the excitement from Maresca. He really saw his quality today. I was in the press conference. I managed to ask a question to Estevao for the first time. He'd probably spoken to an English journalist, so it's a privilege. And he was like in tears because it meant that much to him, the match, and of course, like Palmeiras means a lot to him as well. The journey he's been on has been incredible, and 18 years old now, got to Chelsea. He did try everything to beat Chelsea, but now his attention turns to Chelsea. So it was kind of beautiful to see, and I really bought into it. It wasn't even just the goal. Like, the goal was incredible, but some of the touches were really nice, really mature, good way to pass, good pick outs, getting out of difficult spots and stuff, competing well. And that's the one thing, I was listening to his manager, Abel Ferreira, who's really impressive, who, he says is like a father to him. And yeah, he was just saying he needs time to adapt and he needs to work. He's really trying to drum into him, because the ability thing's not a problem. It's more about, can he work hard? Can he do the pressing? You look at the way PSG played to in the Champions League. That is the blueprint, really, that all teams really need to do. And these superstars, they can't get away with just hanging out on the halfway line, trying to make stuff happen. In European football, you need to do more. So it was kind of weirdly Estevao's day, and he won the superior player of the match. But yeah, probably wouldn't have been my pick, but just outstanding. So impressed. And yeah, we can do more on him in the future as well. But I think for today, that's enough on him. But also, I'd say it was also a debut for Joao Pedro. So he signed 55 million from Brighton with a further 5 million in add-ons. He looked classy. He looked really classy. The touches were great. Sort of setting people up. He threatened to, score himself. He had a shot saved. Yeah, I thought he looked really good and really sharp. I thought it was good debut. Definitely something to build on. Don't forget, he just had 2 training sessions. I mean, he's probably been straight off the beach in Ipanema. Very much, he's come from Brazil on holiday. 2 days later, he's sort of playing in a big game, and he has to do well because Chelsea are 1-1. They've not thrown him on ceremonial minutes here. This is serious minutes. So yeah, I thought looked good. I mean, I've seen him play before for Brighton. I've seen him play loads of times. I've always thought he was good. So yeah, he sort of linked well with teammates. That was a bit surprising, really, considering all the the upheaval he's had in the last few weeks and stuff like that. He must have been keeping himself ticking over on holiday. But on to the next point, my last point. It was a bit of a shock to see him come on because, you look at it and you're like, yeah, he's not had a lot of time. He played quite a lot of minutes. I mean, it could have gone to extra time. He could have played an extra 30, by the way, as well. So it was a bit of a shock. And then you're thinking, Nicholas Jackson, he started this tournament, up front before his red card. And now you're thinking, wow, Jackson can't get back in. And he can't even get back in as a substitute, never mind as the main striker. So, yeah, that was interesting, I thought. And Noni came on, Noni Madueke, but Jackson didn't. Noni is obviously, I've reported already on the BBC that, both of them, Chelsea could sell them at the very high price. It would have to be something completely worthwhile for Chelsea, but they're definitely open to it. And I think the news today about, the UEFA's fine and the settlement that they've given, it's a huge fine, 26 million. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's big. But also the bigger problem with it really is there's a little bit of fine print, and it says Chelsea can't register players unless they make a profit in the transfer window. So Chelsea are going to have to sell more than they buy this summer. Now, Chelsea can do that. They've got until September to do that. But it's interesting with those 2 players being linked so heavily away. Could they leave? And could that be the way they make the profit? And it has to be, weirdly, this is so weird, part of the rules as well, is it has to be somebody from the A-list sold. So the A-list is your main senior players that you pick for Europe. So Chelsea have to register new players on their A-list. So I'm talking new signings like Joao Pedro, Delap, people like that can't even be registered unless they sell some players off the A-list. So that's what they're going to have to do. So they're talking the A-list from last season. I think it's from February. So you're talking players who were in that squad. So the likes of Joao Felix and Sterling and stuff don't count. It has to be A-list players from last season. So, yeah, very interesting, I think, all that. And, so it was interesting to see him left out. But a few yellow cards. It's not all gone Chelsea's way. Reece James is injured in the warm-up. Don't think it's bad, but let's see. Let's see how the next few days go. It seems precautionary. Also, yellow cards for Delap and Colwell, so they're out of the next game. So Chelsea could be without a few players, but Fluminense is up next. Chelsea would expect to win that game, I'd say. And then, final against one of Europe's absolute powerhouses. I'm off to New York tomorrow. That's where the semi-finals and the final are. Let's see how long I'm in this competition for. But actually, I'm going to go and take in Real Madrid Dortmund because I think it'll be interesting as well. So, follow that. Follow all this kind of stuff. A lot more Chelsea coming soon. And, thanks for following me through this long old journey in the US.